Welcome to Showbox. Two princes set off to defeat an evil wizard, but one of them has to face his worst fears to save the world. We'll see what happens next in today's recap of the Hollywood fantasy film, Your Highness. Now, let's get on with the video. Make sure to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this one. The film starts in an ancient world where a wizard is trying to make love to a virgin girl so that she can give birth to a dragon that will rule the world. His plans, however, are foiled by some brave knights who slaughter the wizard and save the girl. Almost a century later, Prince Thaddeus is waiting for execution for committing adultery with a local lord's wife. He is hanged for his crimes, but he's too tall and survives the fall. He quickly breaks free and escapes with his squire Courtney. Back at home, his father King Tallius is mad at him for creating strife with the local lord. He considers Thaddeus to be a failure and only sings praises of his elder son Fabius, who returns triumphant from yet another quest. Fabius has slain a Cyclops, and he's also brought home the woman he wants to marry. Her name is Bella, and Tallius throws a feast to celebrate the joyous occasion. He's proud of Fabius and gives his blessings for the marriage that is set to take place tomorrow. That night, everyone is celebrating, but Thaddeus isn't so happy. He's jealous of Fabius, who is not only heir to the throne, but also a national hero. His jealousy is further fueled by remarks from the court advisor Julie. Later that night, Thaddeus is trying to practice swordplay when Fabius gets there. He asks why Thaddeus is feeling so down, and Thaddeus tells him that he doesn't like how people treat him just because he's the younger son. Fabius loves his brother and tries to cheer him up by explaining how he wants him to be his best man at the wedding. Thaddeus isn't so sure about the idea, but he hopes to have a little fun with the bridesmaids, so he agrees. The next morning, he gets ready to join the wedding, but overhears a knight named Bourmont talking about how Thaddeus is a disgrace to the royal family. This frustrates Thaddeus, and he leaves the palace immediately. So while Fabius is wondering where his best man is, Thaddeus is sitting with some gypsies smoking weed and running after the sheep. In the palace, the ceremony is almost complete when the evil wizard Lizar gets there. It turns out that Lizar wants to impregnate a virgin to bring the dragon into this world. He had chosen Bella for this very purpose, and he wants her back. This leads to a fight, but the swords are no match for Lizar's magic. He's about to leave with Bella when Fabius stabs him in the back, but Lizar is invincible. He instantly puts a spell on Fabius before leaving with Bella. That evening, Thaddeus returns to the palace to find out what happened. He learns that Fabius is going on a quest to save his wife, and Tallius wants Thaddeus to accompany his brother, or he'll be banished from the kingdom. So, Thaddeus has no choice but to get ready for his quest. While they're traveling through the wilderness, Bella wakes up to see Lizar, who is using Fabius's face to make fun of her. He tells her that she has no choice but to bear his child, who will help him rule the world. Out on the road, the quest party stops to take advice from a wise wizard. Fabius takes his younger brother with him, who's really clumsy in his armor. The wise wizard is a perverted old creature who likes to kiss his visitors. He tells the brothers that Lizar will impregnate Bella on the night of the double lunar eclipse. He explains that Fabius will need a special unicorn sword to defeat Lizar. He also gives them a compass that can lead them to the labyrinth where the sword is hidden. After this meeting, the knights make camp in the nearby woods. There, Fabius and his friends trick Thaddeus into eating a raw heart, and then they make fun of him. Thaddeus is obviously angry about this, and while he's brooding, Courtney sees Julie talking to Lizar through some kind of magic. Lizar wants Fabius alive and orders Julie to take out everyone else. Courtney runs back and tells the brothers about Julie's betrayal, and when they try to confront Julie, he uses magic to get away. Courtney and Thaddeus manage to grab him and bring him back to the camp. But this is where they find out that all the other knights are also traitors, and the three of them have to escape to save their lives. They get onto a carriage and are speeding through the woods when two men try to stop them. They take down both the men before Fabius gets rid of Bourmont, who hates the brothers. The three of them eventually climb the horses and manage to evade their pursuers. After this, Fabius sets the horses free and decides to find the maze on foot. He also asks his mechanical bird to tell Tallius about all the traitors and send an army to save Bella. Julie and his band are following the brothers and find out that 3 of them have entered the land of a savage lord. The brothers don't know this, and when they see a woman, Thaddeus tries to chase her, but it's a trap. Pretty soon they're caught and taken to some kind of arena. There, the Lord asks his warrior to brutally murder all these men. Thaddeus and Courtney are scared, but Fabius grabs his sword and finishes off the warrior in a second. This angers the Lord, who decides to use magic to bring out a 5-headed snake that spits acid. Fabius tries to defeat it, but gets bitten in the leg. It looks like the end of the journey for all of them, but suddenly a masked warrior steps in and takes down the snake in just a few short blows. The masked warrior is actually a girl named Isabel, whose parents were murdered by the Lord. She puts a spear through the Lord's chest to exact her revenge. After this, all of them escape the arena. When they get back on the road, Fabius thanks Isabel for saving their lives and asks her to accompany them, since they're all going north. Thaddeus has also taken a liking to Isabel, and he even watches her as she goes for a swim. That night, Fabius goes to collect some firewood with Courtney and leaves Thaddeus alone with Isabel. Thaddeus starts asking her about her life, and she explains that she lives the life of a warrior. Thaddeus wants to impress her, so he tells her about the compass and the purpose of their quest, and this intrigues Isabel. The next morning, Thaddeus wakes up to realize that the compass is gone, along with Isabel. Fabius puts 2 and 2 together and figures out that Thaddeus told her everything, and this makes him really mad. The 3 of them quickly get back on the road, and after walking for a day, they reach the northern city. There, Fabius says that he's going to save Bella alone. While he looks for the labyrinth, Thaddeus and Courtney are having a drink, and this is when they see Isabel. Thaddeus goes up to her and asks her to give back the compass, but she says that she has to stop Lizar's ritual, so she needs the compass. Meanwhile, outside the town, Fabius is confronted by the knights who have destroyed his bird. This angers Fabius, and a fight breaks out. Thaddeus and Courtney also get into a fight with Isabel, who kicks both of their asses. However, Courtney used to be a thief, so he manages to steal the compass from her. After learning about what Courtney did, Thaddeus is over the moon, but his celebration is cut short when he sees the knights who are taking away his brother. The next morning, Thaddeus and Courtney are leaving the town when Isabel stops them to take back the compass. But when she learns what happened to Fabius, she sympathizes with Thaddeus and agrees to help him save his brother. They use the compass and it takes them to a strange cave. There, Thaddeus uses his knowledge of dwarf language to figure out how to open the door, and soon they find themselves in a large maze. After only walking for a bit, they hear something coming their way, and it's a minotaur. Thaddeus and Courtney quickly run for their lives, while Isabel tries to kill the monster. While hiding, Thaddeus goes through an invisible wall to find a dead unicorn. He takes out its horn, and it's actually the legendary sword. As soon as he gets it out, the guardian of the sword wakes up to test him. He asks Thaddeus if he wants to save his brother, who's being tortured, or if he wants to go back home and become the new king. While Thaddeus is making his decision, Isabel is trying to save Courtney. She manages to get the Minotaur's attention, and suddenly Thaddeus stabs it in the neck with the sword. He's proud of what he did, and is now determined to save his brother. So, he hires a local warrior for his quest, and sets off to beat Lizar. They take a boat to get to the castle, where Lizar is telling Fabius how the ritual is about to start. Fabius is cursing his luck when Thaddeus steps into the castle. The man he hired tries to get in, but a hidden trap takes him out instantly. The rest of them now carefully go through the castle and eventually free Fabius, after taking out the guard. Thaddeus also gives his brother the unicorn sword. Fabius is really proud of how far Thaddeus has come, and this gives him the boost to run through the castle as they take out Lizar's minions. When they reach the top, Lizar orders everyone to take out the intruders. Isabel uses all the fighting to get close to Lizar so she can stab him, but he just pushes her away, and she becomes the target of the 3 old witches. Thaddeus, on the other hand, teams up with Courtney, and they both throw Julie down the castle. Fabius also takes out Bourmont, who says that he never meant to betray his best friend, but he was just jealous. When Lizar sees what's happening, he uses the lunar eclipse to become more powerful, and now even Fabius has trouble getting close to him. Meanwhile, Thaddeus quickly frees Bella from the shackles. Isabel is also having some luck, and she slays the 3 witches who once slaughtered her brothers. Things are not looking good for Lizar, and he tries to eliminate Thaddeus, but Fabius is there for his brother, and he stabs the wizard with the unicorn sword. This time, Lizar doesn't regenerate. Instead, he turns to ash and disappears. After their successful quest, the brothers are going back to the castle to celebrate Fabius's wedding. However, Thaddeus is sad to know that Isabel can't join them, since she has to deal with a pack of bandits. When the brothers get back to the palace, they find the whole town cheering for them. Even Tallius is proud of Thaddeus, who saved the nation from a calamity. That night, Fabius comes to Thaddeus's room and asks for some advice about lovemaking. Thaddeus is grossed out, but tells his brother to just be confident. After Fabius leaves, Thaddeus is taking care of his pet lizard, when suddenly he sees Isabel, who says that she missed him a lot, so she came back. They start making out, but this is when Thaddeus learns that Isabel was cursed by a witch, and she can't make love to anyone unless she eliminates that witch. The film ends with Thaddeus telling Isabel that he loves her, and that he's ready to slay the witch just so he can be with her.